And tonight in Your America, it is a chilling video from a college campus right here in America. An unusual exchange between conservative David Horowitz and a Muslim student at the University of California, San Diego, and it was all caught on tape. Now, in a minute, we'll get reaction from David Horowitz himself. But first, take a look at this.
Will you condemn Hamas here and now?
I'm sorry, what?
Will you condemn Hamas?
Would I condemn Hamas?
As a terrorist organ, genocidal organization?
Are you asking me to put myself on a cross? If I say something, I'm sure that I will be arrested for reasons of Homeland Security. So if you could please just answer my question.
If you condemn Hamas, Homeland Security will arrest you?
If I support Hamas, because your question forces me to condemn Hamas. If I support Hamas, I look really bad.
If you don't condemn Hamas, obviously you support it. Case closed. I'm a Jew. The head of Hezbollah has said that he hopes that we will gather in Israel so he doesn't have to hunt us down globally. For it or against it?
For it.
Wow. And here with more on the stunning video are the editor of FrontPageMagazine.com, David Horowitz, and Mark Levine, the author of Heavy Metal Islam and a professor of history at the University of California in Irvine. David, that's chilling, especially in light of the fact that this is a no-brainer. You know, when she was out there saying, I'll be hung from a cross if Homeland Security will be after me, she's acknowledging in that statement she knows Hamas is a terrorist organization, and she wouldn't condemn it, so she's saying she supports it. Checkmate.
It's a typical mentality of aggressors to present themselves as victims. The really chilling aspect of this is that it's going on now at all across the country. The Muslim Students Association is an arm of the Muslim Brotherhood. I was at UC San Diego because they're holding an Israel Apartheid Week, which is a genocidal hate week. It was funded by $40,000 in student funds. Its centerpiece is an apartheid wall, which is a lie itself of Hitlerian proportions because the Israel security fence has nothing to do with ethnicity. There are a million Muslim Arabs, Palestinians, living in Israel with more rights than the Palestinians in Gaza or the West Bank or Jordan or Arabs anywhere in the Arab world. That security fence is because of a genocidal campaign, rocket suicide attacks on Israeli civilians, and that was the only way to stop them.
Mark,
so the university, there are 23 universities now attacking Israel. The wall presents Jews as murderers of innocents, occupiers of stolen lands. It's an incitement to kill. And this woman was honest enough to admit it.
Well, she was, and this is what's amazing. And this student group, correct me if I'm wrong, David, and I want to go to Mark here, it got $40,775 from the university for that semester. Is that number correct?
That's exactly right, and they're getting it at all the other universities as well.
All right, Mark, your reaction. Here's Hamas. Part of its charter is the destruction of the State of Israel. Here's a student given an opportunity to condemn Hamas, a terror group. She wouldn't do it. Your reaction?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me back on. I think before I give that reaction, I really would like Mr. Horowitz to answer the young woman's question at the beginning about this accusation he just made again, that her organization is a quote-unquote arm of the Muslim Brotherhood. I mean, I haven't seen evidence to that. I don't even know what that means. And these kinds of accusations, when someone asks you a question, instead of answering it, you go on the attack about another question and then keep provoking and take a woman who obviously wasn't thinking very cogently or coherently and get her to say all this nonsense, which clearly is hate-filled and condemnable. I mean, no one's going to argue with that, but there still is a point that accusations are constantly being made that are not given any support. And I think, you know, this is part of the same problem. I see Mr. Horowitz as being the opposite side of the coin with her. Just what he said just now when he's saying all the things that using the apartheid law or all of this means you're anti-Israel, when there are many Israeli Jews who use this very terminology and also think the occupation is against the law and against international law and itself hate-filled. So to make these kind of accusations, you know, it's really like throwing stones when you have a glass house.
Okay.
Absolutely.
This is both disingenuous and dishonest because Mark Levine is a supporter of these hate weeks and a supporter of the Muslim Students Association.
Okay, no. You cannot say that without proving it. I do not support it. Prove that I support them. You're lying. I am calling you a liar on international television.
Go right
prove
ahead.
it. Either prove it or take that back right now.
Wait a minute. Let David respond.
Yeah.
But he's lying.
Well, show me the proof. You support it. It's hard to talk when somebody is interrupting you all the time. You're at UC Irvine, which is one of the worst. It is the worst campus in terms of intimidating, harassing Jewish students. You step in as an apologist for these apartheid laws and these.
Mark, let him
finish.
You know,
okay, sorry.
Anybody watching this show can go up on the internet and find you and find what you say. My question to the woman about Hamas was an answer to her question. The Muslim Brotherhood created Hamas, and the Muslim Students Association is part of the Muslim Brotherhood network. And we know this.
Said who?
Because
he's answering. Let him answer.
We know this because during the Holy Land Foundation trial, the Holy Land Foundation was an alleged charity which was funding Hamas. And the FBI they raided their offices, and among the documents they found was a plan from the Muslim Brotherhood for, in these words, destroying America. And among the organizations named by the Muslim Brotherhood as part of their organizational plan was the Muslim Students Association, CARE, the Muslim American Society, which is another supporter of these events.
We're running out of time.
And so I just flushed her out.
David, hang on one second, because we're running out of time, and I want to get to the bottom of this. You did not answer, Mark, yet my question. Now I go back to it.
Yes,
I want you. Do you condemn Hamas as a terrorist organization?
Absolutely.
And
I am on record in every book I've ever written saying that.
Hezbollah. So the student that is part of this, that is getting student funds, you heard her answer. And so the question is, why would the student and this organization get any student funds when she won't speak out and condemn a terrorist organization?
Well, you know, if you're going to start making these kind of litmus tests for getting student funds, you could also look at right-wing groups at UCI.
Stop.
Listen, let me finish. We have the Ayn Rand Society.
Should this student group get any student funds?
As long as every other student group has the right to get funds regardless of their political views, then this group has to. So if you want to make a change against that, then you have to make it to everyone, like the Ayn Rand Society, whose president in a debate with me said he supported the genocide of the American Indians. Should they be getting student funds? I mean, this is free speech. This is what the American campus is about.
Last word for David Horowitz. Go ahead.
This man is so dishonest. Look, I mean,
Mr. Horowitz, on the last time you were on this show, you admitted you never even wrote an article about me accusing me of this.
I have an article.
Last word,
David. I have an article written by him appearing in Al Jazeera magazine, in which what he says of Hamas is that Hamas is willing to recognize Israel, and the Israelis are liars for saying that they don't. Hamas has in its charter that Islam will obliterate Israel, and in its charter, the saying of the prophet that the day of judgment will only come when all the Muslims kill the Jews.
Well, we got to go, guys. Thank you. We are out of time, and there is plenty more Hannity coming up straight ahead. Please stay with us.